Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Popcorn King. That's what this show is called, and this is going to be a great episode. So I've seen a couple of movies, some really great ones, some good TV I'm going to be talking about, and I'm also going to be doing some analysis of the Oscar nominations. They came out late last week, and I'm excited to talk about it. So let's just kick it straight off with The Brutalist. So, The Brutalist is a new Adrian Brody movie, starring Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, directed by Brady Corbett. What is this film about? I'm just going to read the IMDb synopsis. When a visionary architect and his wife flee post-war Europe in 1947 to rebuild their legacy and witness the birth of modern United States, their lives are changed forever by a mysterious, wealthy client. That's the one played by Guy Pearce. So, what did I think about this movie? I thought it was really, really good. I thought the acting was out of this world. Felicity Jones, she comes in about halfway through the film. Literally, like there's an interval, and then boom, she comes in, and she's just a force of nature. Like her character is so interesting to watch, and when she comes in, it's just another flavor to the movie. It's really good. Guy Pearce is almost doing like a Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood type of character. Just this a guy who sort of, I guess he's worked his way up, has an empire, and he's very much like, I'll drink your milkshake type of guy with the moustache and everything, and just this kind of a very specific type of man from that time. And he plays it so good. I guess he is the antagonist. And then we have to talk about Adrian Brody. I just think his performance in every aspect of this film is so good. It's so towering. The accent, although we'll talk about that a bit later, the accent, the spectrum of emotions that he has to present in this film is crazy. He's just so complicated, so good. I mean, he's got to be on drugs. He's got to be this immigrant. He's got to be this artist as well, with strong points of views. But he's also got to, be grateful for all the opportunities of America and all these things. And yeah, I just think his performance is really complicated, and he hits the nail on the head. He really does. I just think. I think the tears of joy, the tears of excitement, the tears of sadness in him, like he's just like he can be a broken man, but also a man very much in control. And like I say, Felicity Jones, her accent is on point as well. Guy Pearce, he's so good. What a fantastic ensemble of actors, I would say. I'm going to quickly talk about the opening scene. I don't think you would consider this a spoiler. I'm just going to sort of tell you how amazing this opening scene is, because I haven't seen an opening scene this good in a while. It's basically, from my point of view, it's showing you both this sort of the grand hope of the American dream, but also at the same time putting it on its head and being like, this liberty, this so-called freedom that you're going to get here, it isn't like what we're advertising. It isn't what we're presenting for immigrants coming to America looking for freedom and liberty. You are going to have a fucking hard time. And this opening scene is so striking, so good. It basically starts with Adrian Brody's character deep down in a ship, sort of, I don't know, like levels down, it's really dark, no windows, and you can't really see much. You can just see it's Adrian Brody, and he's like, are we there? And he's like, where's my stuff? And he's like, I've got to go, I've got to get out. And he's trying to like the camera's trying to follow him, but it's so dark you can't properly see. It's kind of shaky cam as well, and the camera's following him as he sort of is walking through like the bowels of the ship, and it's totally chaotically busy, and he's like squeezing through people, and this music is starting to rumble. This wonderful score. You can feel it starting to rumble as he makes his way up some stairs, and he's like frantically looking around, and you still can't quite see properly, and you're like trying to squint through, and you can see him like trying to squint through little like cracks in like the windows and stuff to have a look at. And he finally, like, this is quite a long scene as well, him just scrambling through. He finally gets up onto the deck, and like light shines, and he sees his, I guess, another fellow passenger or a mate or something that he's made on the way. And you know that he's come from war, that he's come from persecution, that he's escaped with his life, and this has been a long, arduous journey, a journey that could probably be a movie in and of itself. But he's made it, and he's out on the deck. We still can't really see much because, well, firstly, this film was made on a very low budget, so we can just see him, and we can kind of see like he's outside. You just can't see anything, and he's looking up, and he's like hugs his mate in like pure joy. We've made it. And he sort of looks up, and the camera kind of goes up, and then it's an upside down like angular picture of the Statue of Liberty, but it's not that jarring because he looks up and the camera kind of follows, and you kind of like, it's a little bit makes sense from the angle. But yeah, like the Statue of Liberty sort of coming down from the side upside down, and the music is this dum dum bum boom, and it's so grand, so cinematic. It's so striking seeing this sort of wobbly, shaky cam image of the Statue of Liberty upside down, Liberty on its head, and it's just like you're in for a towering movie. You're in for a long, epic movie. That's how you feel when you watch this. It's so cinematic. It kind of takes your breath away. You're just like, Jesus, this is so cinematic. And then like this music, this rumbling music, it follows him. He gets off the ship. He kind of struggles to he's struggling to have sex with a prostitute. I guess he can't do it. He's probably malnourished. And then he gets on a bus because he's going to go find a family member who lives in America. And the camera just follows the bus for ages. And it's that music, bam, 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 bam. It's like this journey. This man's life is about to be a journey. He's about to go on a big journey here in this brand new land, this huge, like the United States of America, this huge land. And yeah, you just get a sense that this is a grand movie. It's very grand, very big, and you can't help but be like, how did the director do this? He had no money. Somehow I'm transported to that time period, and I've barely seen anything. It's not like there's huge like shots of like 1940s United States. It's not like we're going through the streets and seeing, you're seeing very close up shots. You're just seeing the Statue of Liberty that could have been shot, today, and you see him on a bus. And it's not like he's traveling through the old streets of 1940s America. No, it's just traveling through like a field, basically. Like, no money was spent, and it feels so grand. It feels more epic than any of the new Star Wars films. It almost feels like a Lord of the Rings film that is just... Sorry, I'm coughing, because I thought this opening was so good. I mean, that's what I've got to say about the opening, okay? It's just majestically good. It's so good. The rest of the film, it does follow suit. There are so many big ideas. There's probably too many ideas, I would say. There is a whole side section storyline about being addicted to drugs and opioids, and I'm just like, I'm not entirely sure we necessarily needed that. There's quite an out of the blue, although it does build up to it. There's quite a big a horrible rape scene that happens in this film, and you're like, I'm not sure the film has it, considering it's like a 3.5 hour long film. I'm not sure it's put enough time in to do an interesting discussion on the sort of power dynamic rape kind of discussion, to do a discussion on that, a rape that might not even be sexually motivated, more power dynamic motivated. Again, I'm just like, I'm not sure we even dug into that enough. We probably had enough time to, but to be fair, when this film is interesting, when it's at its most interesting, is when it's to do with architecture, which I'm not interested in at all. But when it's to do with this immigrant showing these ideas, these brutalist ideas, these strong, big, open spaces. He's talking about what's good about a cube. It's just the structure of a cube. That's what's good about a cube. Nothing else. You don't need anything fancy. It's the cube. It's amazing in and of itself. And he kind of wants to create spaces and buildings like this. And you've got the rich Guy Pearce, like, kind of loving it, but at the same time, like, people not truly understanding this in America at this point. And yeah, that's where it's really, really interesting to me. I have to say, like, the drugs and the rape and stuff, I'm just like, this is almost Oscar fodder, this part. And I get it, like, again, I do understand the progression to those scenes. But, you know, I'm just like, the film was interesting without the extra bits, in my opinion. And then I do have to touch on one little thing at the end, which is a shame because I've heard a bit about this, and I'm in two minds about this. The performance, as I said, is incredible, especially by Adrian Brody. But there's been some reports that they used AI to make his accent sound kind of authentic and perfect, and the language. And it's just, I get it. AI is a tool that is at people's disposals now. And I understand that you can save money with limited budgets. We can save money with AI. But it does a little bit take away from the performance, in my opinion. I have to say, a tiny percentage. I still think he's probably the best performance of the year. But that is a little bit annoying. Like, was his accent not... Was it awful? Could we not have just heard exactly what he wanted to show us, the actor? Did you have to, digitally edit the sound of his voice? I kind of want to hear the thing that he presented to us, honestly. And I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope. Like, yeah, just say the lines however you want. AI will sort it out later. I want an actor to do his most authentic work and show us what he's got, show us what he's presented, like, show us what he's prepared. I want to see his full performance. And I know it's probably like a negligible amount that it was altered, but for me I'm in two minds about it. But I just think, was that necessary, really? Like, I get it, if you use AI to just fill out some buildings in the background, fine. That's necessary because it might look like modern, New York in the background. But was his voice really that bad? And if it's the case that he just could not do the voice, then he wasn't the right actor, in my opinion. But yeah, I just, that's what I've got to say about it. I don't think in this instance it's too crazy. I have a feeling he's done the accent really well. They've just touched it up a little bit, but I just think it's a slippery slope. And yeah, be careful when you're using AI. Anyway, that's what I want to know. What you think about The Brutalist? Tell me, did you think that the rape and the drugs were necessary? I just thought the architecture, the music, the opening scene, I thought it was fucking phenomenal.